Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of SideKick Power Hour. I am your host, Joshua R. Pangborn, and I am so excited to have you all here tonight joining me from wherever you are across the world. It's wonderful to see some wonderful faces. Names, I guess not faces, because this is all digital and all through text for the most part. But it's good to see you too, Blacha Bear. Yes, I hope everyone had a safe and sane weekend as much as we possibly can right now. Yesterday was International Women's Day, so I hope everyone took a moment to celebrate women in some way, shape, or form. We always celebrate women at Sidekick Productions because we love to celebrate all of the work that they do to support the community that exists around us. If you have this is your first time on Psychic Power Hour, I apologize because I'm still a little off. Last week I was sick and I'm finally on the way to recovering, but I'm still slightly congested. And poor Lindsay last week got the brunt of it. So I still had a wonderful time chatting with Lindsay, and I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk with Lindsay. And but tonight's guest is in much better luck because I am going to be in a much better space mentally and health wise to chat. But before we start, if this is your first time on Sidekick Power Hour, welcome. We're excited to have you. Sidekick Power Hour is the live stream portion of Sidekick Productions, which is a queer, fat positive, sex positive production company. We mostly produce horror and horror adjacent film and television. And for Sidekick Power Hour, we like to talk about the work that we do and bring on people from the community who to celebrate the work that they do in either the queer sphere, the fat positive sphere, sex positive sphere, horror sphere, or any and all of the combination above, or just simply allies of us who do that kind of work. So that's what we do on Psychic Power Hour, and I get to come to you every Monday a few times. A few months of the year and bring some wonderful, amazing people on. I've met some wonderful guests. Sometimes this is my first time talking with them. Sometimes this is somebody that I've spoken to for years. Tonight's guest happens to be somebody I've known for actually several years now at this point. Surprisingly, it's amazing how time can go by so quickly when you are not even realizing it, but it does. So I'm really excited to bring on tonight's guest. But first, before we do, I just want to remind you all about a couple things happening in the world of Sidekick Productions. We have been hard at work on editing this past week. This week we've been working on editing Skeleton Crew season 6, The Art of Blowing It season 2, and The Contract, all of which are coming closer and closer to fruition. The Contract, I should have a really exciting update next Monday on, I think, actually. So stay tuned on that one. I don't want to give it away yet, but I'm pretty excited about it. Art of Blowing It and Skeleton Crew are both itching forward further and further. At some point, we'll have Ashley on the show to talk about we're doing with Art of Blowing It season 2 because I think it's something that you're all probably as interested in as I am. And Skeleton Crew Season 6, we are plugging along. It's still in the production phase, so we're still filming, but I'm also editing on the same time, and I'm also scheduling and casting and doing all the fun things that you do with when you're in production on something. And then in addition to that, you may have heard that we had a you may have seen that I published a little video that talks about a book that just came out that I'm in. So if you're interested in reading a book of wonderful, wonderful short stories by horror authors, you can get That Old House, The Kitchen. This is the next in their That Old House series. I have a story in this book called The New Neighbor, and I encourage you to read it. What's really fun about what Angel and the team at for That Old House series does is they all of the short stories take place in that room of the house. So their first series was called That Old House, the Bathroom, and all of the stories took place in the bathroom. And this is all That Old House, the Kitchen. All of the stories take place in the kitchen. I can't wait to find out what they're going to do next, and I'm going to get ready to write a story for that. So I hope that's really going to be some fun, though. But enough about me and what I'm doing. This is the time to bring on our special guest, and I'm really excited for you all to meet her. Or if you've known her already, well, see her again, live and in person. Ish, because we're again virtual. But anyway, here without further ado is tonight's special guest, Jen. Hi, Jen. You are muted, just so you
I
know.
am muted. I'm
There
going to
you
say
go.
hello. Hello, hello.
Hello, Jen, and you are part of the Gilbert Baker Film Festival. You are the Gilbert Baker Film Festival in many ways.
Yes,
So we are excited to have you,
true that.
and we'll talk about that in a moment. But before everybody wants to hear about that, let's talk about who you are and what do you do.
I think you just said it. I'm Jen Trujillo. I'm the senior managing director of Gilbert Baker Film Festival. And to that end, I spend a ridiculous amount of my time in my life in a great way working on Gilbert Baker Film Festival and connecting with filmmakers and film loving audiences around the globe.
And what is the? I guess we'll start there because that's a big part of your life, basically. What is
It
the Gilbert
is.
Baker Film Festival?
Gilbert Baker Film Festival is a film festival that celebrates, it's a tribute to Gilbert Baker, who's the creator of the original rainbow flag, the OG rainbow flag that flew over the Gay Liberation Day in June of 1978. Gilbert Baker's the creator and worked with some other people like Lynn Segerblum and other people to get that flag up and flying and made it a global symbol for our community. In his lifetime, towards the end of his lifetime, he had was born in Kansas and spent most of his formative years there. And people there wanted to honor him and celebrate him uh, with a gala, really like a party. And he was like, let's not spend the money that way. Let's spend the money connecting community and educating people. Let's do a film festival. And so the Gilbert Baker Film Festival was founded by Gilbert Baker himself and a bunch of his supporters and friends. They started planning in 2016. The first festival was in 2017. Um, so it's a tribute to Gilbert Baker and a way to celebrate and amplify our 2S LGBTQIA plus stories on screen, the creators who bring those stories to life, and the film loving, film creating audience, our Gilbies that are from all over the globe, and connecting them and bringing them together to celebrate those films and to to connect and talk about the films and meet each other and network and be seen, heard, valued, loved, respected, and celebrated in a way for everybody, for our whole community. So that's the focus of the film festival. That's what the film festival is about, and that's what I pretty much work on year round. That's what I
Pretty
do.
much like 24/7, I think you do. So
I When the
maybe
festival's
23/7.
happening,
So
yeah, that is truth.
how did you get involved with this?
Oh, that's a fun story. So I've been a advocate in the queer community all of my life since I was young and came out, and then also a lover of our stories on screen and on paper and our verbally shared stories. And I have volunteered at lots of film festivals and attended lots of film festivals, and I have a huge interest in 2S LGBTQIA plus queer stories on screen. So I attended Gilbert Baker Film Festival in 2020 as an audience member. I came to support. I found out about it and heard about it from a creator, Corey Xenos, and someone who made the Fortnite web series, which is a great web series that's free online, available globally, and been translated in a ridiculous number of languages. So if you're listening to this from anywhere else in the world, you can almost pretty guaranteed watch it and have captions in your language. So that show was going to be a part of the festival, and at that time, the director was Shelley Heather Landers, and I bought a pass and went to the festival all through the week. They had some incredible panels and events, and I was a super user, I would say. I went to everything, I participated in everything, I loved it all, and was just super active and eager, so much so that I caught the attention of the people that were running the festival that year. And they asked me to interview to be on the board of the festival and volunteer for the festival. And that was it. I got pulled in very quickly, was made a co-director with Shelley. And then as we went into 2021, I actually ended up volunteering on the 2020 festival, finishing it up and helping finishing hosting it. And then the 2021 festival, um, uh, Shelley stepped back, and that was it. I was the senior managing director and a party of one at that point. And yeah, I pulled in my co-director in a similar way at the end of the year. I asked for some help with some organizations out there, and Les Flix actually volunteered to help me. And my co-director, who's Ping or Ping Scripted, I asked for help on a Thursday, and Saturday morning they had watched, you know, all of the. I think that year we had about 60 films that I had curated for the
Wow.
festival, and in 2 days watched them all and was ready to put them into a program with me. Like, they met me in the morning on Saturday morning. We're like, I'm ready. I mean, Ping is a powerhouse, still a
That's amazing.
powerhouse. They are still my
That's
co-director.
bravo to Ping for that.
Yeah,
That's a lot to watch in a short amount of time. So
every little
um,
bit had things to say about every film. Really, they were incredible at helping me curate and make up our cool collections. That's something I think we do pretty well with every year, is
I
coming
think
up with good
I want to
content.
talk about something that you said because you I think we've never actually talked about it. You're not a filmmaker, right?
Um, so I have worked on production and films, and I do help in the sense of money and support and reading stuff.
I should
Have
specify. You're right. I should specify that you're not because you are a massive filmmaker in the sense that you do that exactly.
Yeah,
You are somebody. You haven't like directed a film or something like that.
not yet, but I am being supported and pushed and supported by people in my community to do so. So we'll
I'm
see
glad
what
to hear that
happens.
because you should very much. But I love what you said about how you just went. You didn't have a film in the festival. You just went to the festival the first time and
Oh,
participated in it. And I think that is so important because
yeah,
film festivals are incredible, especially film festivals like Gilbert Baker are
yeah.
incredible places where you will find some brilliant talent and
Mm,
some wonderful opportunities to connect with filmmakers even if you're not a filmmaker, it's a great way to sort of experience the world of filmmaking in some ways, and show support for indie voices
yeah.
because really that's what film festivals are mostly indie voices. It's very rare that you encounter somebody in a film festival who is not what we would consider an indie voice. So
Right. And yes, you hit the nail on the head. So I think every single person watching this, you can be part of filmmaking and telling the stories you want seen on screen.
yep.
You can participate with your voice. You can participate by rating, reviewing, donating, watching, purchasing in legal formats, things that you want to watch, and attending events that support the stories on screen that you want to see. And if you have filmmakers and stories that speak to you, I beg people all the time, please, please, please connect with those filmmakers. You know, they're always raising money, whether they have a Kickstarter, a GoFundMe, or anything up.
We really
Every
are.
si-
So.
every single independent filmmaker I know could use funds at any time, and they will put it towards bringing stories to life on screen that are telling our stories. And Joshua, to that end, I have been blown away since I met you at the effort that you put in on being the change you want to see in the world, and the amount of, talk about 24/7 or 23/7. I know you sleep too occasionally.
We get an hour
Effort.
every night, so
The effort that you put in on telling our stories, your stories, the stories that need to be seen and that people want to be seen. I'm sure you have no idea the impact, the full impact that you've had around the globe. And I know there are people out there that you've affected in a positive way and impacted. That maybe they've never told you, and hopefully some of them have. But even if they have, I guarantee you, with the representation you've put out there, with the stuff that I've seen, you've saved lives and you've made people feel better. And yeah, and
that
laughed and
means
cried.
a ton. Thank you for that. That's
Thousand
that
percent.
means a lot. So,
Uh, thank you
but
for what you do and what you've done.
but
So
also, I mean, thank you for what you do. And I agree with Ancient Army here because you create such an I so when the festival's running, it's a
yeah,
summer festival basically. So it's like June to end of to September basically
good
ish.
good call. Yes,
The dates are they're fluid. The dates are gender fluid. So,
true.
um,
Still
but
true.
every Saturday for like 30 hours,
Yeah,
Jen will run a Zoom open town hall basically
yeah,
for everybody who wants to just come in and share and talk about movies that they watched from the festival, talk about meet one another. She creates such an incredible environment and community from the Gilbys that is so valuable, so invaluable, really.
Mm,
And the other thing is, this is a strictly online festival for the most part. I don't, I and this is an online festival though that creates an environment for and a community for people who maybe can't get out to film festivals, which is another, because there are, let's face it, there are cost prohibitions for some people.
yep.
It's there are uh, health reasons people can't get out. There's a number of reasons people can't get out.
Right.
And so I've participated in online film festivals before. They're usually nothing. They're just sort of like they're just you send your movie in and then you get a certificate that you participated, maybe an award if they feel like they want to do that kind of thing. But what Jen does is she creates an actual community for film festival people, and she does it all virtually. And there are people who wouldn't ever be able to participate in these film festivals if they didn't have something like Gilbert Baker for them to go to. And I think that's beautiful. I think that
Nice.
changes people's lives too. I mean, there are people who have connected across the country, across the world, because you've allowed for that to happen.
Yeah. Thanks. And I agree. It's those people, everything you said, and then also we have community all over the globe. And I think a lot of festivals are certainly international. And so if you go to TIFF or you go to Berlinale, you're going to meet people from around the world. But that is cost prohibitive or health prohibitive. So I appreciate that you have seen the value in it. I do really, really try to impress the people that we try to create a really interactive, unique online presence that's alongside the festival. So, for what it's worth, if you're an introvert and you only watch stuff like this and you stay behind the keyboard, you are still a valuable part of Gilbert Baker Film Festival. We want you to watch the films. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
No, I was going to say this is a great festival for introverts, really, who want to participate or who enjoy queer cinema and want to figure out a way to participate, but don't always get to see it or to access it. And
Yeah.
again, festivals are hard to get to sometimes. They're expensive, or
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm in New York City, so there's a film festival every other week, and I can throw a rock and hit it. But if you live in Montana, for example, there aren't that many film festivals in the same way.
Right.
And traveling to a film festival means you have to make sure you go, or even in New York State, like where I'm from, upstate New York originally. It's still a 6-hour car drive to New York City if I want to go to a New York City film festival. So
Yeah.
I think
I'll,
that
I'll give a
having
shout out to Buffalo International Film Festival, which is upstate New York, and they have a good
that's
queer
true.
representation there. They are a nice
They do.
festival.
They very much do. And Sarah's singing your praises. Sarah's met so many creatives because of Gilbert Baker Film Festival, and you're one of the reasons that Sarah still makes movies. So, Sarah is
Keep
a
up
very
the
talented filmmaker based out of New Jersey. Everybody. So,
Yeah.
I encourage you to follow Sarah and the work that Sarah is doing with a number of films, actually, a number of projects that
Yeah.
Sarah's working on. So.
They're also going to be throwing down some 48-hour film challenges. They've grown a company with that, and they're going to be
Oh,
doing some of those
fun!
in a different way. So I hope at some point your worlds will collide in that space as well.
I've
Uh,
often thought about doing a 48-hour film challenge, but
yeah.
uh, yeah, I've thought about it. I just haven't found one to do. I did a 2-week film challenge.
Oh,
Once during this was during the pandemic. There was a film challenge basic that I thought was really cool. And the concept behind it is you would sign up with your team,
yeah.
and then you would get um, they would draw for you a genre, and everything was horror, but they would draw for you a genre within horror, and then they would
Mm,
draw for you a type of monster or creature. So, for example,
ooh,
musical and vampire, and you would have to do an 8-minute movie in 2 weeks and make that happen. Uh, this is actually how A Taste of Youth came to life,
ooh.
because my short film Wasted on the Young was made because of this festival.
Mm,
And because of that, then A Taste of Youth sort of developed from that into a feature film. So,
very cool. Which is a fun
uh,
film if you haven't seen it. Uh, oh, James is saying they're hoping to experience the festival this year. I hope so.
yes, yes. James, well, James submitted a movie I know to Gilbert Baker.
I think I know which film that is, and I have watched it.
Yes. And James is a very talented filmmaker and actor out of Arizona.
I don't. Ooh, I could look.
I forget now. Sorry, James. I can't remember
You
what
can put
state
it
it
in the
is.
chat, James, and let us know, and
I
we'll
think it's
shout it out.
Arizona. Oh gosh. Yes, because yeah, I'm 99% certain it's Arizona because that's where he because James worked on a project that we did in Skeleton Crew called Skeleton Crew: The Edward Chronicles, and
There we go.
yes, so James is in Phoenix. Yes, thank you, James. I knew you
Thank
were
you,
in
James.
Arizona. So
Appreciate that. So that'll
oh,
be yet another part of the globe.
and
Uh,
another person who says right here that as an introvert, Gilbert Baker has been a wonderfully creative space to connect, make friends, and find inspiration.
there we go.
So, um,
Yay.
so yeah, I'm constantly amazed that you and you don't just stop for the festival too. You do it during the holidays. You have New Year's Eve. I think you've done Thanksgiving or is it Christmas too?
Yep, all those. I do Zoom socials on other parts of the year so that people don't feel so isolated. This year we did, I think we were on in the end 36 hours, but we were going to do 30 hours ringing in New Year's around the globe. We've been doing that since 2021, and I love that because it's about, we figured it out this year, thanks to some friends that are part of the festival, that it's about 26 hours you need to ring in New Year's around the globe from like the Howland Islands around to the Highland Islands. And we did that and, watched different celebrations and heard about different traditions from people around the world. It's just fun. Like the social events, much like the events for the festival, we do have some stuff that, you know, like we had the Casting Confidential event this year, and we
Yes,
ran
yes.
that twice a day. So we usually do those type of events 12 hours apart, so that if you're doing shift work, hospital work, have kids, um, a non-normal 9 to 5 schedule, like whatever your sleep schedule is, and wherever you're on the globe, you can make it to a live event during Gilbert Baker Film Festival. You can end up in a Zoom room like this with me, maybe with this human, Joshua. Joshua, I thank you again. Incredibly supportive that they pop in and out when they can, as they can, to meet other people and have their projects, celebrated and amplified. And it doesn't work without filmmakers that want to participate. I mean, I'll do it on my own. I'll be there by myself, and then other people come in and out. We have a pretty steady, regular crew of Gilbies that are here for the festival. They love it. They're happy, looking forward to it. And we do events, during the holidays and other times. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm behind. I will be honest. I've been behind on awards. I think we finally have 2024 awards all done. I will actually point it out. Laura Petrie, who runs Cinema Sisters Film Festival, which is the only all lesbian film festival in North America, other than Canada, I guess, in the United States, and one of the few ones in the world. You have to identify as a lesbian at time of submission. They're not all queer films, but they are all women-led and lesbian-run projects. The Cinema Sisters 10th Film Festival will be this Memorial Day weekend in Paducah, Kentucky, and
That's amazing.
1,000%, I'll be there. Invite anyone to please come celebrate their 10th anniversary. You end up with 200-300, mostly women, but lots of humans and allies that want to critically discuss film and watch film together. And Laura runs a mini music festival on top of the film festival.
Oh, how cute.
They're amazing. But on top of all of that, they finished watching as a judge. They judged every single film in 2025 as one of my judges, done, knocked out. And then I kept saying, I still have films left from 2024 that need to be watched. And Laura just knocked that out for me. They got in there and finished watching every single thing that still needed a judge's vote on it to have. We try to have enough, like at least 3 judges have to have watched every project, and we want at least 3 projects in every category. I mean, we're not Cannes Film Festival, we're not Berlinale. We are a growing independent, small film festival, but we still try to be fair on that. So anyways, Laura finished judging 2024. So I don't know when I'm going to announce 2024. And then I still need judges. If you want to judge in a film festival so far, qualifications is that you have to have gone to film school or studied film in some way, which we can look at what your qualifications are, and or have experience on set on films in production of some level. And we're looking for for judges for 2025 and 2026 and beyond for sure.
Well, if
Um,
anybody wants to watch a bunch of queer films and also judge for the festival, reach out to Jen because this is a great opportunity to get exposed to a lot of queer media. And
yeah,
some of the movies are very short; they're only 5-10 minutes. Some of them are feature films, and they're an
yep,
hour and a half. And then there's everything in between. So,
right.
so I encourage you all who support and love queer cinema to talk to Jen about this because this is a great way to
Thanks.
get involved in a film festival without having to actually make the movie.
Right. No, and it's a huge part. And attending and putting your vote in our Audience Choice Awards is another way. It's another way you can participate and be part of it. And I don't know that we finished the part on, I mean, we talked about it a lot already, but it works for introverts or extroverts. It works for anyone in the world that has access to the internet.
Yep.
And funds shouldn't be a barrier to entry. If you have access to decent internet somewhere and the time on our time schedule, the films run 24/7 through the run of the festival. We do occasionally have some films that are special screenings that will be we prefer not geo-blocked. We have had a couple films that have been geo-blocked, but generally all the films are available all over the globe, anywhere you have access to the internet. So you can watch on your own 24/7. And then you can also come to our pop-in, drop-in discussion groups, watch parties, all that stuff. How can you connect with me? Instagram, sure. Gilbert Baker Film Fest on Instagram. And on there, you'll find a link tree and find ways to reach us. Gilbert Baker Film Festival.lgbt is the website for the film festival. I've got what email would I want people to use? I think the one we use for the public is press and marketing at gilbertbakerfilmfestival.lgbt. So you can reach out that way as well. What was I going to say? Oh, we don't want money to be an entry to barrier for anyone for this film festival. So for filmmakers, I do not charge to submit. So we want you to have a free waiver. If you want to pay to submit and you want to donate to the film festival as a filmmaker, amen, I'll take it. Not going to fight it, but it's generally free to submit. And for qualified and participating filmmakers, we share revenue from ticket sales with the filmmakers that are qualified and participating. It's going to be a cup of coffee if we're lucky across the board, but it's a cup of coffee.
And it's also more than a lot of festivals do. So, like a cup of coffee is still more than I've gotten from 99% of film festivals I've ever been in, and I've been in a lot of film festivals, so I can
Yeah.
tell you.
Amazing. That's the point. And if I can't get you revenue in ticket sales, what I try to offer is amplifying and celebrating you whenever I can. And
Which Jen also does amazingly. And the whole Gilbert Baker family really does. Maeve wanted to add that that Gilbert Baker and you have not only changed their life but also saved their life. So,
kind of you.
so
Thank you, Maeve.
And also, Ancient Omi wants you to know this is Omar.
It's Reiki Squad. Omar, big healings and blessings for you. Don't forget to get outside if it's clear tonight and look for the Northern Lights.
Oh yes, there's that. So
I think we have a shot tonight for some people. And don't poo-poo it when you're farther south than you think you are. You just got to be patient and let your eyes adjust. I've already seen them a couple times this year. So I have every intention to go out tonight and hope to see them on top of everything else. I agree. Our family, our community is strong. Go ahead.
So you obviously are passionate about queer cinema. Do you remember maybe what is the first queer cinema that you remember? The first queer movie you remember seeing?
It's okay. So I've seen queer movies before the queer movie that I stand with sort of a reason I'm still here. I had seen films like, Personal Best and other films, but Donna Deitch's Desert Hearts, I will never not praise. For people that don't know, there's the Hays Code. That was a morality clause across not just Hollywood, but publications across the United States. And It pretty much said you could have queer people in films or in books as long as they came to an ill end. So mental illness, suicide, death, murder, divorced. They had to be unhappy at the end of whatever story. They could not find happiness being queer, which was considered immoral. And Desert Hearts, which in 1985 was in cinemas. I did not see it in cinemas. There are many people that did, but I saw it after its cinematic release on, I don't know whether it was Betamax or VHS, but one of those. uh, and that is a film that had a lesbian love story, and it did not come to an ill end. It had an uplifting, optimistically hopeful end, and had a beautiful lesbian love scene, and had allies in the film. It had bisexuality represented in the film. It had uh, societal dramas and tensions. There was homophobia in the
Mhm.
film and family tensions, but still, there were queer actor. Can I swear on this podcast?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Talk show. I don't act this way to change the world. I act this way so the goddamn world doesn't change me, and that's sunk into my. The whole film reached in and put a little string of lights around my heart, which is another line from the film.
That's
And I
wonderful.
was like blown away. I was like, and then we went forever with not happy lesbian representation. Let's be clear. We die on screen all the time, but thank God I saw Desert Hearts when I did. Um, I clung on to that tape, and I tell the story, and it's really not right. I wouldn't return it. I rented it from a video store, and I did not return it, and had late fee after late fee after late fee, and then I bought it. I think I paid about $800 for that
Oh
of my own.
wow.
Well, in the end, for that DVD.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I just went over and said, I'm just going to pay for it, and they let me pay what was left and all of my late fees, and I kept it.
Do you
Because
still have it, or?
I have it somewhere. I mean, I don't have a Betamax or VHS that works. I have a DVD, and I got a signed copy of the DVD.
Oh,
Uh,
great.
Donna's still raising funds for a sequel of that movie, which will feature in the world of Desert Hearts, is what I'm told. And the characters, Vivian and Kay, will be in it, but they will not be the function. I am begging her, along with other people, for her to allow us to do a sequel, because it would be amazing to see what happened with their life. Like, we could get yet another. It was a hopeful, uplifting ending, but we could get a happy ending in the
Yeah.
future. So, me and some other folks want that. I don't know if she'll ever let us have it in her lifetime. That's not Donna's plan for the sequel, and I'm here for the sequel because I was here for the first film. But that film blew me away. Uh, yeah. What was the first thing that you saw that touched you?
That's a great question. I think the first movie that I can remember that was explicitly queer was probably Beautiful Thing.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Um, which, if you don't know Beautiful Thing, it is a British film and based on a play, and it takes place in a council estate, which is basically like apartments for working class people. Is sort of the idea behind it, and it's about two boys in high school who discover that they love each other and are gay. I just I think that's the first one I ever saw that touched me. The first one I ever saw in general, I think.
Yeah.
And then I saw another movie called Get Real, which is also based on a play.
Mm,
There were for early '90s, mid '90s, there was a lot of not a lot, but there were a lot of adaptations of queer plays into queer film.
yeah.
Another one that you might know is Jeffrey. A lot of people know Jeffrey with
Yeah.
Stephen Weber and Patrick Stewart. That's also
Yeah.
a play before it was
Yeah.
a movie. But Get Real is about a boy who is in love, and I believe it's been a long time since I've seen it. Is in love, and then also has a relationship with another high school boy who doesn't want to come out, and so he doesn't come out in the end, and so the boy is left alone. Those are two I remember. I was probably I may have seen the Birdcage first. That might
Ooh,
be the
Agatha
first
Spartacus.
one. But I mean, that's because that was '96. So, because again, I was young when these movies were coming out. They didn't have a lot. I knew in '96 what I was, but that's another story. Even though I was only like 13.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
So, but that's how it works. Queer
It is.
Awakening is very different for us when we didn't have the internet, but we had movies like The Birdcage and these other and Desert Hearts and all that. But
Yeah. I
um,
mean, the
yeah,
power of film, I can't like, The Birdcage is a great example of a movie, I credit that one a lot with touching a lot of,
yes,
heteronormative hearts, and allies' hearts, and, that film was written enough to laugh with us and at us and alongside us and dip into our family relations, um, so that some people, even some people in my life that were very against, my Satanist homosexual lifestyle or whatever they wanted to call it at the time, loved that movie, and they laughed at that movie, and they, were touched. They were impacted and affected by those
yeah.
characters, and they were humanized in a way. So I credit that movie a lot with opening some doors the same way, like, I think Queer as Folk was, and then The L Word
Queer as
was
Folk was
groundbreaking.
very, very influential on me. I
Mm,
know that it is not a great representation of the queer culture and all that. Because but they also did a good job of saying we're not a representation of queer culture because they
right.
literally have it at the start of every episode. It was like
They do.
this is just about a group of friends from Philadelphia. But it was my senior year of high school when Queer as Folk came out, the first season,
Ooh,
and I was watching like this show that was I'd never seen anything like this before. Like the first episode ends in rimming, and it's like now you know what rimming is, and I'm like, well, so do I guess. So because I had
right,
no idea what rimming was, and when I
right?
was 17, but the show was so influential on me,
Yeah.
and I connected with it so much, and I watched that first. I didn't actually see the seasons 2 through 5 because I didn't have Showtime after high school because I went to
Uh,
college and we didn't have Showtime or anything like that. So I only saw season 1 for basically like the next 7 years, and then I got the rest of the DVDs and I saw the rest of the show, and I'm like, this is so sad,
oh,
but it was really good. I'm glad that Sarah's reminding me how old I am by telling us that. Thank you, Sarah, for reminding me
thanks,
of
Sarah
that.
Beam, or Baby Sarah, as should we say. Uh,
Yeah, queer as folk were just queer people acting wild, and it was fun. And from a production standpoint, that show was so much like Birdcage, but queer as folk even more so. That show was so revolutionary in the sense of like nobody would pay for that show. Like it was hard to find people to act in it. Like
yeah,
they wouldn't send agents wouldn't send their actors out to audition for it,
right.
and it was considered dangerous to do, and I'm glad that the cast who ended up being was willing to do that. So
Yeah, it was super brave. And I think that show, there was the British version, but the American version as well, and then The L Word, the original L Word. I
yes,
know it is also controversial, but I will never not stand that um, it reached into the lives. It was drama, it's high drama for sure, and it shows every single bit of, queer drama there is, dyke drama there is. But it and not but and it brought heteronormative ally audiences that ran in bars with huge watch parties with people lined up outside the door trying to get in to watch that as that show dropped weekly. And it brought queer people into the homes, into the hearts of many people who started to be allies. I mean, just the time that it paralleled with people coming out
yep,
in the music scene and then Ellen and all that. But I really credit that type of representation on the screen for a huge leap forward in allyship and the queer movement in acceptance in the United States and around the globe for sure. I mean, it really speaks to the power of storytelling on screen, and every little bit of every independent film, all of the ideas that people have are revolutionary in that. I mean, the work that you do is revolutionary in that, Josh, like, or Joshua, sorry, that's revolutionary in, you know, fat positivity, body positivity, queer positivity, BDSM positivity. What's your tagline? You say it every week and I should have it in my
Queer,
head.
fat positive, sex positive stories, basically.
Yes, that. We need that all the time, and we need allies for that. And you do it. And every filmmaker that's working, every independent filmmaker, you're doing it. You're doing the queer lord's work.
And I feel like we've lost that a little bit with queer cinema, especially mainstream queer stuff. Because like you had shows like Queer as Folk, you had Noah's Ark, you had the L Word, you had all these
Yep.
shows which were showing authentic queer people living
Yep.
queer lives, and now it's more about trying to show queer people living heterosexual lives in some ways. And
Mm,
what I mean by that is that they're just like you, and and queer people aren't just like you. We have a whole community of our own
mm,
that exists, and we grew up differently. I mean, just by the nature of we grew up differently, we're not going to be like you. So, but
mm.
unfortunately, I think a lot of contemporary queer stories are trying to tell audiences that we're not different than you, and I think we are in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but in a way that is
No.
like these our stories are not the same as yours, and
Yeah. I mean, yes, I agree with you. And I mean, we are the same in that we're human and people want love and people want families or dogs or, you know, they're part of all sorts of things, but we are magically, sparkly special.
we
And
are.
we are magically, sparkly special and creative in a way that, and resilient in a way that are pretty powerful stories to tell. They, you know, it is nice that I am here for the fact that we will always have coming out stories and coming of age
Yes.
stories at film festivals, and people are always going to tell those stories, and I hope that they continue to. I do celebrate that we have other stories with queer people in them, and to that end, I do agree with you that it's nice to have the queer people represented in our and other queer stories told, but we shouldn't just be whitewashed out of our fabulous rainbow background.
Omar wants
We,
stories with happy endings and to stop burying the gays. I can't help with that, Omar, because I make horror movies, so but they're all gonna get buried in the but
I
yes, I agree. I agree. Yes, we want stories with happy endings of queer people living queer lives and being happy about it. It's
Yeah.
important. It's very, very important.
But you have strong queer protagonists in horror stories.
You do. Yeah. Yeah.
You do.
And
Uh,
I do. Yes.
you do. Joshua makes them. Sidekick Productions makes them. Whistle or The Whistle, which is a feature film that had a very limited theatrical run, just came and went. It's going to be on
Yes.
distribution.
Yeah. I remember. Yes.
There are
Also,
lesbians that are the heroes, and they
there's
don't die.
Clown in a Cornfield had two gay characters. Clown in a
Which one?
Cornfield.
Clown in a Cornfield. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Nicole told me that, and I forgot.
It's a really cute movie. It's really fun. And the gay character representation comes out of nowhere almost. So it's a little fun in there. So
Oh, cool.
it's unexpected.
I
So
haven't watched that one, so I will watch that one.
it's on Hulu right now. So
There
you
you
can watch
go.
it now if you
And
have
our
Hulu.
friend Nicole DeMonesis makes all sorts of queer horror that has
Yes.
queer protagonists and certainly
I
queer
think she's
victims.
making a lesbian vampire movie right now, isn't she?
She, we, I am I'm a an executive producer, I would say, on that film.
Well, you're making so there you are. Yes, of course.
I don't know
There
what
we go.
ranking she's giving me. She said she's giving me another, I don't know what, another producer title on top of that. We got accepted into a fellowship together
Oh,
on that.
fabulous.
We're
Which
actually
one?
going over this. Great question. I don't know which one. I should know. I could look
That's
it up
okay.
if you want me to tell you. She was in one recently and worked on the script. Actually, we're meeting tonight to go over the script again. And some people that
Great.
are here watching us have helped some with going over the script. We want other people to read the script. So if you want to read a feature film, sapphic lesbian vampire film, we're into it. And we need help with people reading it and giving us input. The next levels working on our pitch deck and investors and a whole nother thing. So we're going to have a class every week, a workshop every week, and then other outstanding homework and projects. So I'll let you know how that goes. But
Please do. I'm really excited by it.
I'm
I
along for the ride with Nicole DeMonesis and Dark Rainbow Films. It's called Last Bite. The short proof of concept was in Gilbert Baker Film Festival 2025. We may have some other fundraising short screenings of Last Bite again, so keep that in mind. I am a we because I'm helping with that. And
and
I
I
feel
saw
like I
Last
help
Bite
with
last year, so Last Bite's a lot of fun.
it was fun.
I encourage you all to read it or watch it or support it because
Yeah.
that's a fun movie. So
The story's changed a little bit. One of the characters in the stories, it's going to be a sort of neo noir with San Francisco in the background, but it's going to be fun.
ooh,
And follow along at Dark Rainbow Films, and we'll talk about it through Gilbert Baker Film Festival. It's going to screen at Poppy Last Bites at Poppy Jasper International Film Festival in April. It's another great film festival that has an LGBTQ day plus, and they sprinkle LGBTQ films throughout their 10-day, 12-day festival run. It's a very supportive festival.
that's great. And you
Yeah,
work for them too. You've volunteered for them before.
I'm volunteering for them. They have kind enough to let me help curate. They get well over 1,000 submissions of films, and they need people to watch them and rate them and put them in categories so that the curation team. So I'm like the curation team, which is amazing. It's been very fun, and we had some really cool. We watched on our own, and then we also had some times where they were inspired by Gilbert Baker, so we had some watch parties together and
Oh,
rated
great,
films
great.
together and talked about them. Yeah, that's been fun. I'm grateful that other film festivals are letting me help be part of their world. I'm trying to do that some with Cinema Sisters. I haven't done much other than trying to promote it. It's their 10th anniversary. It's Poppy Jasper's 20th. It's crazy, all these things. And I forgot to say, I mean, Desert Hearts, if you haven't seen it, it's its 40th anniversary. So it will
Oh,
be at film festivals. They're on a tour,
yeah.
talking around, walking around it. And I don't know if she's going to raise money she is raising money for the sequel. That didn't come up at the screening I just went to, but it's still there on her website. You can give money to that film if you love that film. What else?
Yeah, no, there. You are a huge supporter of the arts and the community, and that's one of the things I love about you is how passionate you are about making community and making people part of it. So
Yeah.
you're a voice for that. So
Yeah.
um,
That makes me think of something. Anyone that's listening that's participating at all in filmmaking or stories on screen, um, uh, myself, Chrissy Mahan, and lots of people are incredibly passionate about accessibility for everybody. And your project is not complete unless it has been captioned. And I think captioning should be done by the writer, the director, the creative team should be involved in that process. And we're really trying to work towards getting people that it's part of your writing and creative and pre-production process, that you're thinking ahead about creative choices that you're making on the film with framing on the screen. So, like you see where my name and is Joshua's name here, there's a place for captions on your screen, and keeping that mindful that that area of your beautiful vision has a place for captions. And if not, default up here to the top. And that you're conscious of, if you thought of something and it mattered enough to be in your soundscape, to be part of Foley, that it ends up in captions, but that you also put it in your script so that it ends up in captions, and it's noted what parts are relevant. And then beyond that, even narration for the blind. I just, every single human being, we start in diapers, we end in diapers. If you live long enough, you are going to be disabled. Odds are you're going to lose some of your vision, some of your hearing, and captions will work for you, along with the fact that they work for people who English isn't their first language, who are ADHD, who are hearing impaired, who are deaf, all sorts of things. I watch things with both captions on all the time, and then I often, when I'm alone, use narration for the blind to make sure I focus. I know that throws some people, that it's a visual art, but it makes sure you took all this time as a creator to write a beautiful story. Don't you want every single body, every human to be able to access that story and catch what you wanted in the story? You know what I mean? Like, anyways, It's hugely important to me. So we're trying really hard to get people to get it. If you can do it, do it. Chrissy Mahan and I are lucky enough. We're going to do a workshop at Cinema Sisters on that.
Oh, that's
Uh,
great. That's good.
I don't know if you want to
That's
record it.
another thing I love about you is how passionate you are about accessibility, and that's one of the things I think you did with Gilbert Baker is make it accessible. So
I
that's
try.
really important, I think, and not something that people think about when they're making their movie. But more and more, I will say, more and more festivals and more uh, in general are requiring it. Like when you submit your film to distributors, they need you to have captions and everything. So
Yep.
and honestly, a lot of the technology nowadays are doing well uh, to make it easier to create captions for yourself and everything.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say basic captions of what is said is relevant. I will stress as a creator, as the creator, I will beg you to take real ownership of not just getting down what we say, but really thinking about what mattered in your story, what is part of your soundscape and your Foley, what is really relevant, and make sure that those of us that need that, that it's in the captions, that we know there's a sad song playing, that we know when she turned and looked at her lover, there was a thunderclap that you can hear in the background. You know, if we miss that, you're like, oh, well, it's there. I'm like, it's not there for everybody unless you, as the creator, writer, director, production team, in pre-production, production, and post. It's not an afterthought after post. So that's what I'm begging. I'm really trying to chug that out there.
I love that. No, that's great. And I'm excited for you to be able to do a presentation on that because that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of festivals. I see a lot of workshops. That is not one of the workshops I have seen. So
Yeah.
Sarah
Well, that's
always has a caption version of her film. She also tests it with those who need to know if it's accessible. So
yep. Sarah has really leaned into that, which I really appreciate, and you've done a great job. And you are going to be a leader in amongst your peers and in the industry, in the independent film industry. So
I
thank
think a lot of people are moving in that direction of recognizing the importance of it. So
Yep,
I support and encourage more people to do that as well for themselves. So,
right. Amazing. Is there
so
more?
we have about a minute left, Jen. I The
Yes.
time just flies right by. Is there anything else you want to share or encourage people to do before we wrap up for the night?
Hopefully check out gilbertbakerfilmfestival.lgbt. Check us out on Gilbert Baker Film Fest on Instagram and our link tree. Follow us on all the socials. Come participate in the film festival. Beyond that, be the change you want to see in the world. Participate. You are a filmmaker. You sitting at home are helping by giving your voice, rating films, reviewing films, giving a stars up, giving a number, putting it on your IMDb, putting it on your letterbox. Any chance you have to endorse, getting on social media, like being on here and supporting Joshua and the work that Sidekick Production does is being part of the change you want to see in the world. But without a lot of money, just the investment of your time and your voice, you can help. If you have money to help, donate to any filmmaker that you love. They need money. All these independent filmmakers need $1, $5. A little bit is not is they don't mind. They'll take it.
We can stretch a dollar very beautifully. So
Yes. So be part of that change and participate in independent filmmaking and storytelling on screen. You are part of the team if you invest your time, money, resources, and sharing. And risk sharing beyond. That's one thing I would beg. Don't let people say no to us and you before they do. So some people are like, I won't share them. Tell your colleagues at work. Put it on your social media. If you're not
Mhm,
afraid to be out, share it because you don't know that there's not someone else in there that could give $5 or $5,000,
mhm.
or connect someone to the right publicist or the right story. So be part of the change you want to see in the world. And you're welcome to be part of this world, right?
Absolutely.
I
At
mean,
the end of the day, even just reviewing on Letterboxd is a help because
yeah,
more people will see it and more people will know what you're talking about. So that being said, if any of you have watched The Brooklyn Butcher and haven't reviewed it on Letterboxd, go there now and do that now. So
I owe you that. I don't have a letterbox. I got to do it.
thank you.
That is a clever movie. It's delightful.
I love it,
Delightful.
but
I do too.
seriously, everybody, I encourage you, when Jen starts posting about Gilbert Baker this summer, participate. Go and join some of the weekly Zoom chats, or and watch the movies. There's some beautiful things that get created there, and I encourage you to do that. So
Yeah.
hopefully you will take that and do that. But
Yep.
that is all we have for tonight. It is 8
Okay.
o'clock New York City time. So
Whoops.
East Coast time in general, because
I'm
Jen's
there
not in New
too.
York City. So but hopefully I will see Jen in Baltimore when I go to Baltimore Web Fest in a
I'm
few
excited.
weeks.
I'm excited about that. I'm gonna
So
try to go.
fingers crossed, I will see you there. But in the
Okay.
meantime, have a lovely evening, everybody. I'll see you all next week. And again, follow Jen on Gilbert Baker on Instagram and everywhere else.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all very soon.
Thanks,
Bye for
Joshua.
now.
Appreciate this. Thanks for all you do. Bye.
And that's the tea.